Most people focus on the wrong thing. They focus on the result, not the process. The process is the sacrifice. It's all the hard parts. The sweat, the pain, the tears, the losses. You make the sacrifices anyway. You learn to enjoy them, or at least embrace them. In the end, it is the sacrifices that must fulfill you. And that is Ronda Rousey, My Fight, Your Fight, a real icon in fitness and in the world of America, etc. And I'm here with Mr. John Scarborough, an icon in his own right over at ISI Elite Training. Thanks for hanging out, man.
Oh, yeah, too kind.
Well, your business is doing awesome, and I'm fired up to hear more about the business itself, your journey, etc. And what I like to do is kind of start with people's background, kind of like where you're from and how you got moving.
Sounds good.
So, are you from Lexington or?
I grew up in downtown Columbia. So I was born in 1981 in Columbia. I grew up down there. Been in Lexington for about 14 years.
Yeah. Heck yeah. And would you go to AC Flora? Did you go to Dreer?
Yeah, AC Flora.
Heck yeah, Falcons, brother.
Oh, yeah.
So, after high school, what was the next move?
So I went to Carolina. Studied there for 3 years. Not really sure what I wanted to do. Kind of settled into geology. Did that for a while, and
Nice.
never actually finished in 2001. After the World Trade Center and all that stuff, I kind of started getting interested in joining the military. Ended up joining in 2003.
Wow. And so, how long were you in?
I did 8 years in the Marine Corps.
Wow. And in the Marine Corps, I guess you did learn, there's some parallel here. You guys were probably getting after it physically and doing some exercise.
Yeah, it was definitely physically challenging. I guess the Marine Corps' philosophy is they want to break you down mentally and physically, and then kind of build you back up as a unit, as a team. So that's kind of where it started.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. And you got out, and what was the next move from there?
From there, didn't really have many plans, so I, got involved in. My dad had a restaurant, the Villa Restaurant over on Bush River Road, that he opened in 1977. I kind of worked there, off and on through high school and, most of my life to that point. So I got involved in that, started managing it, and eventually bought him out in 2015 and ran that all the way through COVID. Kind of realized that, food wasn't really my thing. I'm not a foodie. I'm not a chef, so I wasn't really passionate about it. Ran it through COVID. Being on Bush River Road, it was kind of a declining area. Anyway, we'd had those employment issues that everybody felt after COVID for a few years before it.
Yeah.
And then COVID just made it that much worse. As towards the end, I was working 80 hours a week. Decided it was time to make a change. So we researched some different avenues to go. Kept falling on fitness because it has been such an important part in my life, and because I didn't have much experience in it other than the Marine Corps, decided to go the franchise route. Researched several brands in the boutique fitness world. Yeah. As I started eliminating other ones from the list for this reason or that, ISI just kept checking the boxes. And I think the deciding factor was, I went up to Charlotte and did their Discovery Day. I was kind of a little cocky when I got there. I said, I lift weights 5 days a week. I run the dam a couple days a week. I'm in great shape. I'm just going to go up there and destroy this workout.
Yeah. And
I got humbled. It's day in, day out. This is probably the best workout I've been a part of. It will challenge you. You will get out what you put into it. So that was kind of the deciding factor for me.
Yeah. Well, I can attest to that. I'm humbled every time I walk in those doors. So, yeah, it's awesome. The restaurant industry, just to kind of harp on that, it seems like it's such a grind. You mentioned you were working 80 hours, and I got to imagine some of that that lifestyle, it kind of bleeds over into, running your new operation, employees just constantly working on the business. Do you think that there's a parallel there?
In the beginning, because I was used to working those kind of hours, had to kind of tell myself to back off a little. I was up there, had my hands in everything in the beginning, and but I've got such a great team. Our head performance coach Jennifer is just amazing. She's one of the best, fitness performance coaches that you're going to find anywhere. And the rest of the team, they're just great. They buy in. They love what they do. Yeah. So really, I had to tell myself to just back off a little and let them do their thing, and it's been great.
That's interesting. I was going to ask how you created such an awesome atmosphere, and I guess part of it is you had to back off a little bit to do that. You do have an awesome team. How did you go about finding the folks that you got working for you?
I all found them just on Indeed. Put out the ad there and searched through all the resumes, and we had a good amount of people apply. In interviewing head performance coaches, we interviewed probably 5 or 6, and had a couple in there. They're like, yeah, they're good. They might work. And then Jennifer came in, talked to her for about 15 minutes. She walked out the door. I said, interviewing's over. That's the one. And we hired her shortly after that, and haven't looked back.
Yeah, she's awesome. So that was a great move. All the members appreciate that. So what's the process of getting acclimated as a coach or team member to taking on the role?
So we only accept nationally accredited personal training certificates. There's about 8 different certifying bodies that we accept certificates from. That's the start. You have to have one of those to talk to us. From there, we put you through a 30-point ISI specific training program. So by the time we let them loose on the floor, they are very, very well versed in what we do as a brand. Yeah. We are very focused in strength and not just cardio, as you know. So we do things in a very specific manner. We want it to be a community feel. So each session, the coaches are not only there to make sure you're getting that good workout and your form is perfect and all that stuff, but also to drive the community aspect of the workout.
It is so true that the gym feels more like a family. I mean, there's such a tight feel amongst the members, and it's interesting that you guys have been able to put together that extremely difficult workout, but for some reason everybody kind of you feel good when it's done and you feel like you're a part of something. So kudos to you guys for doing that. And is that something that, does the ISI, the franchise, did they help? Was that part of one of the reasons you decided?
Yeah, it's one of the big aspects that they push in the product is, they don't want it to just be a gym where you show up, you do your workout, and you leave. You want to have that familial group feel to it. Yeah. So that's why all of our employees are, required to take sessions along with the members. And to be honest, it's not much of a requirement. They all do it mostly because they want to. And everybody that comes to work for us, they have their own fitness journey, and they've all bought into the product and to the vision, and that's a big part of it. So they come in, they do their workouts with the members, and kind of be that leaders of the community by being a part of it. Yeah,
heck yeah. And a little bit more about the operation. If you're a new person who's joining, I guess what can you expect a little bit from classes? And the type of workout, kind of the schedule. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So as far as the workout goes, it's a HIIT style workout. We kind of coined the phrase of athletic based training is what we do. So it's at the base of it, it's going to be that high intensity interval style workout. We have about 15 or so different timing formats that we run through. The difference between the way we do that HIIT format and a lot of other gyms in the boutique world is, like I said earlier, we are very strength focused in what we do. It's not going to be cardio. We don't own treadmills.
Yeah.
We don't own rowing machines, any of that. We do have, some air bikes and some ski ergs, but you will never be on those for a lengthy period of time, like that. They're used as a part of that high intensity style. A lot of dumbbells, kettlebells, barbells. It's basically high intensity weight training at its core.
Yeah, that makes sense. And your position, you're the owner, but you're also the operator, so you're in there actually doing some of the training. Can you speak a little bit about what it's like to get in there and and be the coach?
So I didn't really have intention of doing that when I opened the business, but just decided along the way that I should probably be capable of doing it, just if we ever got into a tight spot as far as coaching or anything, and decided it would be a big growth moment for me. And it's nerve-wracking, getting up in front of 30 plus people and being the center of attention. But I like to say nothing great ever happens in your comfort zone, so you should strive to challenge yourself on a regular basis. And it was definitely a big step out of my comfort zone, but getting better. And I feel like I might not be our best coach, but I'm good. So
so humble. You're in there killing it, man. It's it's awesome to see the owner come in and take the mic and take control. So that really adds to the part of the fun. So what would you tell somebody who's like worried about joining? They're falling off. They hadn't worked out in 6 months. They're looking around, but they're kind of worried about the group setting or any gym in general.
I find someone like that will benefit more from the group setting than a normal gym. And it might be, a little nerve-wracking at the beginning going into a setting where a bunch of people that you don't know. But one of the great things about our community is we welcome people from day one like they've always been there. By the time you leave, I promise you'll know several of the other members' names. They're going to know your name. Our coaches are going to know your name. And you're just going to be welcome from the beginning. And as far as, having fallen off out of your, whatever your fitness routine is, or if you've never had one, that group is going to give you that accountability factor that a lot of people are missing in a regular gym. We've got members that, when they haven't seen one of their friends in a couple of days, they're calling them, they're texting them, hey, where are you at? You got to get back in here. You're not going to get the benefit if you're not here.
Yeah.
And, our coaches, we do accountability calling as well. So it's just going to give you that added layer of, holding you accountable to the goals that you've set for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. That works well. Having that accountability. You're also a member of the BNI network, and curious, how has that affected your business?
It's been good. I had a couple of people like yourself and Dominique, bought in right from the beginning, before our space was even open. So kind of lended me some credibility right there from the start, and that's been very big for me, as well as having that network of other professionals in the area that can give me the expertise and the knowledge and the help when I need it has been very big.
Yeah, heck yeah. It's a lot of fun having you in the meetings. You definitely help get everybody fired up when you come in right after a workout. So
that's right.
Yeah, heck yeah. So what about people who are nervous about getting hurt? I mean, is there anything in place? Some people, do have that concern.
Yeah, well, that's the great thing about, when you go and work out, you're not on your own. You have one of those nationally certified coaches there keeping an eye on you, and I'm not going to say that, it's not possible. You can get hurt walking to your car, but those coaches are going to be there. They're going to show you the proper form to execute. They're going to try and help you make sure that you're doing things the right way, instead of, a lot of times, people go to a gym that don't have any real experience, and they're doing things wrong in an unsafe manner and putting themselves at risk. We're taking a little bit of that uncertainty out of it for you,
Yeah.
and as well as the coaches being there to show you the proper way of doing things. If something that we are doing is kind of beyond your fitness level at that moment, they will offer different options and things for you to do, as well as our workout is for all fitness levels because you set the pace. You decide your weight levels, so really you push yourself as hard as you can, and the coach is there to help you and modify things for you and to make sure that you're doing them in a safe manner.
Cool. Yeah, absolutely. What you guys got any specials going on now or in the future? Any kind of timely things?
Well, we just came out of a 4-week for $75 special, and the next specials we'll run are going to be towards the end of summer.
Yeah.
But, always be on the lookout. We always do a 7-day free trial, so welcome to come in, try it for a week before you kind of make any real commitments. See if it's for you.
Yeah.
Check out the community, all that good stuff.
Heck yeah. And where can people find you guys?
You can find us at ISIEliteTraining.com or stop by. We're at 425 Columbia Avenue in Lexington, or you can give us a call, 803-935-9009.
Heck yeah. Well, John, appreciate your service. Appreciate you bringing me to the grindstone in the gym. And thanks for hanging out today.
I appreciate you having me.